Hey everybody, it's AB here.
And it's Nevaeh.
If you're new here, welcome.
And if you're not,
welcome back. Hey. I'd like you guys to do us a big, huge favor.
Please.
Make sure you guys
Please subscribe.
We like to do this show. It shows us like what people are really going to be into, what we can do to help out you guys in your life travels, because our podcast is about self-love, learning to love yourself, loving to be secure in what you do, knowing that everything does not mean that you're perfect. You're not going to be able to do anything that's going on in your life.
Of course, definitely. The best love is self-love. That's number one.
Yes.
I know it's difficult for us to be able to love ourselves because it's just so much easier for us to downplay ourselves and tell ourselves we're not enough. Well, guess what? You are enough, and you will be enough for anything that you want to do. You are not enough. You are beyond enough. That's what you are.
Go above and beyond.
You replay this clip every day if you need to get yourself some motivation. Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
All right, so make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share this with everybody else, and show some love out there. Make sure you guys take good care of yourselves, and I'll catch you later. So. Happy Mindset Mondays, everybody. This is your brother from another mother.
And your sister from another mister.
Because you know Papa was a Rolling Stone, hey.
It is Monday, as AB stated.
Yes.
We got a new letter.
The letter is E for extrovert.
Extrovert.
This is a way for people that externally express themselves and do things on a daily basis. So the opposite of an introvert in a previous video that we did before.
Oh, wow. As AB stated earlier, extroverts are people who are the opposite of introverts, which are more outgoing people. Sometimes being a very outgoing person is good, but it's more talkative.
Yeah.
They are very expressive.
Yes.
And they honestly just don't really care about what other people think, which can be good and bad as far as being very outgoing, very open. Just because of the simple fact that, one, you never really know who's watching you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And being you don't really hold a lot, so you're like really open to talking to people about, ideas that you may have and or things that you have done. And sometimes some people can use your openness to their advantage to like either steal things that you said and or try to use it against you.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, extroverts are also great because they are outgoing. They are willing to try new things, whether it works out or it doesn't. And that's a really good feature. Obviously, sometimes being an extrovert, you can get ahead of yourself because you're like, well, I want to try this, and then like you try it and you miss time, you're trying to try it, and or you just force your way into doing something because you really want it to be done.
It could be the spur of the moment, and it could not be the best decision in the world.
Now see y'all, see. Now we discussed, in previous videos, that it's okay for you to try new things.
Yes.
And to explore the world and do the things that you want to do, but you also have to have some type of precaution when you do things. There's nothing wrong with taking your time, but you don't want to take too much time, but you also don't want to rush it either.
Yes. You got to be balanced. The yin and the yang. Be a balance.
Yes, balance. You can wait for something that's kind of balanced, because you're not going to get it the way exactly how you want it. But you just jump at the gun, jump in ship, like, hey, I'm going to do this today, and that's what it's going to be. Yeah. That's very erratic. Don't do erratic things, okay? Don't be spontaneous. If you're going to do something, make sure you plan it to some degree. Don't just go for it. It's like getting a tattoo for the moment, and then you wake up the next day and you regret getting it. That's because you just up and did it. Yes, great that you got the tattoo, but now you regret it because it's something that's permanent. You have to live with it for the rest of your life. Not saying that the tattoos are bad, because I have tattoos and I don't regret any of them.
I'm a virgin when it comes to tattoos, but I've been working on it.
Y'all seen some of my tattoos.
Yes, she is correct when it comes to that, because for an example, those extroverts are the people that you should know at your home. You should know with your family. They're the ones that actually get you to want to do things and not have you stay in the house all day.
Yeah.
Because the opposite of extrovert is an introvert, which they tend to stay to themselves. They tend to be home a lot. They just want to be me, myself, and I. They can be secure in themselves at being alone. It's just that the opposite is an extrovert, and they're not used to as much being alone. They're used to being with a crowd of people.
Yeah.
And that makes them even more comfortable to do things on the splurge. So that's the person that you notice in your family or your group of friends that you associate yourself with.
Yeah. So that extrovert will be that person who has a lot of friends, that gets along with everyone, that's like the cool person, you know, the one that you're excited to see, even if you are, you know, a very well kept to yourself type of person.
Yes.
Extroverts are amazing people, but like we discussed in the introvert video, sometimes being an extrovert also has a downside too, which is because you are an extrovert, you are used to always being around other people and you don't know how to be by yourself. Exactly. And sometimes people who are extroverts can be very attention-seeking people, which can cause you to go do the utmost, craziest things to get attention.
Yeah.
And that can ruin friendships, it can ruin families, it can ruin your job because you're trying to do whatever you can to make sure that you keep the spotlight on you. And that being self-centered is not everything, because you being a very self-centered individual, you're going to lose people because they're not going to want to be around that type of negativity and or attention.
Right, because like it can be a bit much for certain people because everybody handles things differently. Just like when we get sick, we have our body handles it in different ways. Some of us can handle it better than others. The biggest thing that I have noticed for it is it has to do a lot with social media as well, because that tends to bring out extroverts to seek attention from other people. Per se, like when you have celebrities and they go out and do something, whether they get the new type of shoes, whether they get the new type of clothes, cars, and so forth. Like you would want that same attention that they got, because you can see them getting like millions of likes, and it's like, oh, well, this is what I strive to be, but it's nothing but a photo, it's nothing but a picture, it's nothing but a temporary video of what you think. It's not what it actually is. So don't just jump the gun and try to be like everybody else, because that particular thing may not be for you, it might be for somebody else. And that's the other thing that people have to tend to understand when they are going through these process, when they're going through the process.
Of course, extroverts, you know, you guys are some of the most influential people that there are. Because of you being such an outgoing person, you influence other people to want to do more for themselves, because they're like, well, dang, if they can do it, I can do it too. But once again, even though you are influencing people, and you are an extrovert, you also have to let people know, like, hey, just because I do this and it works for me doesn't mean that it'll work for you, but I can try to help you get to X, Y, Z. But don't expect the results that I have, because not everything is for everyone. You know, also being an extrovert, you know, some extroverts are like some of the smartest people there are, you know, in the world. And they're exactly, and they know how to conduct business on a very professional level, and you know, they still know how to have fun. I would say a good example probably of an extrovert would be someone who is a performer or a bartender. These are people who are comfortable with being social with other people without any first off, customer service is a whole nother subject. We ain't gonna talk about that. We might even do a Talk Tuesday on that, because
that's a lot.
It needs to be said. But stop dancing. But these are people who are very comfortable with themselves. Me myself, you know, having a past as working in a bar, I can tell you from just working in a bar, you get a lot of different people, and you have to know how to be able to deal with people with different situations, because working in a bar, you have all different types of people coming in there with different problems and or celebrating things. You got people who are celebrating their engagement, celebrating their weddings. You have people who might be depressed, or you know, you have people who might have probably just came from a funeral. Someone might have just graduated college or something like that. So you know, you got all different types of people from different walks of life. They might have probably started a business, and you being that person who is working in that bar, you have to be able to talk to these people, and whether they are at the highest of the high or lowest at the low, you are the person that's talking to them, making them feel good, trying to, not really get to know them, but you are understanding as much as you can from what they are telling you, as much as they allow you to.
Yes.
And that's the good part about being an extrovert, because other people can feel comfortable around you.
Right. And the other thing that I wish to add to that is, not just in bartending, when it comes to a business and you're in customer service in general, and you're being the extrovert to give everybody that uplifting feeling to where they feel comfortable enough to come to you.
Mm-hmm.
You people who work with those same people, there's one thing that you also have to understand. It's a lot of emotional work to deal with different personalities, different perspectives, and so on and so forth, that you need to give them their breaks when they get the opportunity, because this will allow them to reinvigorate themselves. So say they're going on their 15-minute breaks, they're going on a 30-minute break. It's for them to go okay, I've taken this time to assess everything that's just happened in this moment. Now I'm rebooted to go back into what I was doing before, and now I have the time to do what I need to do. And your part in that was, well, I can give them that break. Let me take over for them. Let me be that energy for everybody else. Because it can be a lot when you have multiple different people talking to you at the same time and trying to get everything down. Personal experience, I've dealt with this for many years, where people just somebody's talking in this ear, somebody's talking to me in this ear, somebody's trying to hit me on my phone, and so on and so forth. And it's just I'm trying to give everybody equal opportunity for attention, but sometimes I get to a point where it's just I will shut down and retract into myself for just a moment, just so I can come back out. It's not like I didn't hear everything that happened in front of me. It's just I'm just listening, and it's boom, okay, now I've got time to take care of each and every person, but I have to go boom, 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 and treat it bullet points.
I think myself personally, I think I'm a bit of both. I think introvert and an extrovert. I think I'm a combination of the both. Just because of the simple fact that I do consider myself to be an outgoing person, and I do talk a lot. But even though I talk a lot, I don't really talk about my personal life a lot, and that's the one thing that people don't get. Because I do talk a lot, but I just don't talk about me a lot. I might talk about things that I know and stuff like that, a little bit of a brainiac.
Because you're being an observant person before you actually express who you are to that person. You want to know what they're about, so that if you leave them with information that it could be precious to you, that it doesn't get out to the rest of the world, that can slander you for the stupidest of things.
Definitely.
Just because of an insecurity, or just because they don't have an understanding of the current situation that you're in.
Even with my social media, I don't really post a lot about my personal life. I might probably post little snippets here and there, but for the most part, I'm a very, very private person, but I am still outgoing.
And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Exactly. It's just more so having a balance. You just have to understand, sometimes I'm kept to myself. Sometimes I just peace and quiet. Sometimes I like to go out and do things and that nature, but definitely with everything that's happening right now in the world, this is definitely really giving me an opportunity to really, I already knew who I was before, but it's having to spend so much time by yourself and stuff like that. You really get to understand who you are, and you get to understand who your friends are and what they like. And I think sometimes us being introverts and extroverts, we don't really understand people on the level that they want to be understood, and we only take them for how we perceive them.
Yes.
And
it's the idea of who that person is instead of who the actual person
is.
And that's what's great about this pandemic right now. There's not a lot of good things with it, but the great thing is you have the opportunity to sit down, to reassess things that you looked at in your past, to be able to say, well, I didn't notice this about myself. Even though I seen it, I blocked it out of my memory, to be able to go oh, these are quirks and problems that I have to deal with, and I have to figure out how I can really settle that down and really enjoy who I am and enjoy being by myself for a moment. And then when I have that given myself that opportunity to spend quality time with the people that I've deemed as my friends and family members, or extended family members for that matter, because I do have friends who I consider my extended family. Then you get to understand what they're going through and their differences and what made you guys become friends in the first place. Because really, we all have a lot of friends out there, but sometimes we just can't remember why we became friends in the first place.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
and it's good to like revive that and be like, oh, I remember that. I can't believe that happened. You know, that was a very good time. Or wasn't that an awkward moment how we met? But you know, it made a great friendship out of it at the end of the day. Or even the opposite. I can't understand why I was with that person. I can't understand why we were even kicking it, why we even bothered to build something.
Well, I mean, this is definitely a subject for another time.
Yeah, of course.
But remember that we have people in our lives for different seasons and different reasons. Some people may be with us for a lifetime. Some may be with us for a little to no time at all. And that's just what it is, you know.
Exactly.
But you know, being an extrovert, it can be overwhelming sometimes because you're such a people person that people feel like you're just open to always being with people, and you do, to a degree, do enjoy your alone time, your own space.
Right.
But because you are such a very captivating person and you're outgoing and you know, people love your energy and they may like who you are, they don't understand that you have boundaries too.
Exactly.
And you being an extrovert also have to express that to people. Just because you seem like you're always open, or just because you seem like you're just super friendly, or you know, you're just like really cool down to earth, or whatever the case is, but you also have to express to people like, hey, I know that I'm usually like down for this and down for that, but I just need some space. I just need some of my time, this and that. But I mean, ultimately, you know, extroverts, you guys are amazing, but you do have to also just be aware of who you are around. Because you are an extrovert, you will attract a lot of people, and not every person that you attract is for you.
Exactly.
Whether it be friends, relationship, and or family, not every person that you surround yourself with is for you. And that's something that you have to remember. Every ear that listens is not a helping ear. You introverts.
You extroverts.
You guys. You know, you guys are kind of the yin to the yang.
Yes.
To a degree. You're total polar opposites, and you have some who are in the middle. You guys both have your strengths and you both have your weaknesses.
Exactly.
But that makes you who you are.
And cherish every time you have that opportunity to realize it.
Definitely.
Go through the emotions and make everything as best as you possibly can. I appreciate everybody for watching in and staying tuned. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Or else. I don't know, or else, but just subscribe. Please
All
do it.
You guys have a great day. We'll catch you guys another time.
Peace. Hey.
What's up, everybody? It's AB here.
And that's Nevaeh.
If you're new here, welcome. God damn.
I was falling.
That was actually pretty good.
It was. I was just sliding.
Damn.
I was like just sliding.
Slip and slide.
You're so irritating.
You irritating as much. Don't call me out on my
Guess
shit.
What?
Josh.
But it's like awesome.